Well, isn't it great when you can solve a problem by simply having a good night's sleep? Can you imagine, though, what it's like when you can never get the clarity that comes from a decent night's sleep, ever? Never, ever. Poor sleep steals our focus, our mental health, and our ability to solve problems. Sadly, that's a harsh reality for millions of people that are homeless. My friend Norm's story opened my eyes to this problem. His father had a successful joinery business until he had a stroke and lost it all. His work, his marriage, his home, and eventually his life living on the streets of London. Fast forward 30 years, in a half-empty Brisbane car park, Norm had a brilliant idea. Inflatable mattresses in basement car parks, which he cleverly called bed down. One guest told Norm that after 2 weeks of bedding down, he got off drugs, found housing, and had job prospects. He said to Norm, I'm not a drug addict. I'm on the street not because of drugs. I take drugs because I need to get whatever sleep I can. So Norm's story inspired me to another idea, one with an architectural, artistic and creative twist. Small, self-contained pods on the streets and public spaces of Brisbane. Each pod, toilet, shower, fresh bedding, air conditioning, solar power, a charging station, safe, secure and private. Now, this idea isn't entirely original, but there's one thing that Norm said to me that made me think differently. He said that when you become homeless, you also become invisible. So each pod is a work of public art, both a shelter and an artistic statement by local Brisbane artists rotating in various locations around the city. I call it art slept in. The creative twist? Brands compete for our attention. This is an opportunity for them to take them that attention and put it with intention. Imagine Airbnb becomes Fairbnb. MasterCard, a great place to sleep, priceless. Nespresso pods for unforgettable sleep. Now, this is not about putting the homeless on display. It's a visible act of creativity and care. As an architect, I learned that my primary job was to create spaces that are safe for people to learn, work, live and play. As an artist, I know that art helps people see, think about and understand the world from a different lens. This project combines the two. And it's a physical manifestation of the work I do now, inspiring impact through bold thinking and brave stories, always with a visual twist. During COVID, I took up running in my local New Farm Park, starting before dawn. One day as the sun came up, I noticed a man lying awkwardly on the ground beside a park bench. He didn't look great, but I ignored him and kept doing laps. I wonder if you've ever had the reaction that I had and thought, homeless, probably drunk, not my problem. I didn't stop running until the police and then the undertaker arrived. Although he'd been dead for a few hours, I am ashamed and embarrassed about my reaction and my inaction. These days, when I go to the park and I see someone, I see them a little better. I check on them, I chat, say hello, sometimes offer them a coffee. Now, it's a big step from having a chat to bringing art slept into the world, but it's not intended to replace the current bricks and mortar accommodation. But it may fill a gap for those that shun shelters where other people congregate, or for families or for children who have less options. It's about visibly putting the solution somewhere to park rather than hiding the problem in plain sight. But maybe that visibility might attract national projects. Imagine Sydney's vivid dreams, sweet dreams, or Sleep Formula One, bringing the roars as well as the snores to the streets of Melbourne. Or maybe even a global movement where we have TEDx providing lots of TEDZs. Not in the talks, of course, and certainly not at TEDxSydney. Or in Vancouver 2026, TED, ideas worth bedspreading. The Olympics will shine a spotlight on Brisbane, and this idea is not about stealing that limelight from the athletes who've trained so hard, but it's about grabbing some of that glow to bring a global problem out of the shadows. Imagine the impact of the footage of the marathon or the cycling, broadcasting to the world that Brisbane cares for all of us. It's about making the invisible visible, about a gift of clear thinking for those that need it. An idea worth sleeping on. Thank you.